Yes, yes, yes. You see, when the world
I knew you would
collapses.
mark up on that.
Yes, yes, yes,
T-shirts,
yes. I have a
T-shirts from
bag of
hemp.
seeds.
Hemp is a great.
Well,
It's great
listen.
for. I just said again for t-shirts, hoodies, and sneakers from hemp.
Oh,
I've
phew.
seen it. I've seen it.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
this is my master plan
but
for when
but let
everything goes to shit.
let me be now a capitalist. You know, I produce, let's say, a radio, okay, and it's made of cheap components. I give a guarantee of 6 months on the radio, and you can buy it for $1, you know. And yeah, there's another company producing another radio which lasts for maybe let's say 10 years, but it costs $5. So who will buy what? Most people will buy my radio for $1 because they think maybe it will last for 2 or 3 years, and then still they have a better deal than the radio which is costing 5 times more, and even if it lasts 2 or 3 times longer. Is it not?
Yeah, but my plan is when everything goes to hell, I'm gonna make a new society, and I'm gonna take a bag of seeds with me, right? And then we'll have that, and we'll use that for everything. Because you can make clothes out of it, you can make paper out of it, you can burn it for fuel, you can use it for medicine. There's all kinds of shit you can do with it, and it's relatively low maintenance and cheap to produce.
So it means you're talking post-catastrophic scenario.
Yes,
So are you of the opinion that we have to have a catastrophe, a meltdown, complete meltdown to start new?
no,
Might be
we
a.
just have to. Everybody all has to agree. That's all.
I think people need to
That
wake
never
up,
happens.
and I don't
That
think
is a
they're.
Yeah.
wait, Mark. You just said it. That will never happen. So, I mean, to be realistic, I agree with that one. That will not happen. Most likely will not happen. At least not in the next 50 years, and we don't have that much time. So what will be the solution then?
Start
I'm
your own.
I'm the
Start
devil.
your own with your own people.
No, that you're running away. We are not talking about your personal reaction to that one is. I'm thinking. I'm asking you about your opinion. What should be done if this thing cannot be done? If one thing cannot be done, it means if you can't reach all the minds of all the people and change their programming and their behavior, what will you do then?
Start a breakaway society.
That's running away again.
It's not running away.
Well, it's separating away.
Well, no, no, no. It could appear that way. Think about how it's been done to us. There is this breakaway society within our own society, and that's what all these problems are about.
Yeah.
They're off on their own, but yet they're still right here with us.
Cindy
It's
just
weird.
said, she's right. It has to start somewhere and spread from there.
Yeah, but what is happening if it doesn't spread? You know, I mean, you can have it in a small controlled environment, but you are not getting mainstream support.
Oh, no one ever gets mainstream support unless they make a movie about it or something. It got to be like
Well,
programmed into everyone. You got to put it everywhere. That's how it works.
Yeah, but it is not getting put everywhere. That's the point. Because
no,
the
it's not.
system,
You're right.
the system will say, look, you need 10 million bucks for 1 minute of advertisement, and you don't have the 10 million bucks because you are already outside that system, and the system will not allow you when you have the 1 million bucks to spend it like that because your mind has changed already because you are inside the system.
Whatever.
Raising
Silence of
awareness.
Well, then again, in the
Raising.
end, we're only trying to predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen. We have an idea, a good idea, but things can change in a second.
So, Brooke, what do you think?
I think raising awareness is probably the most important thing we can do right now as as a group, as just for society in general. I think we're well aware for the last couple of years we've been seeing people are sleeping at the wheel. You know, they got very cushy and comfortable with their life, and then the rug got pulled out from under a lot of people with the economy. And now they're sitting here with their hands up in the air saying, what do I do now? And a lot of these people, including myself, wasn't ready for that. I mean, I came from I came from working in an office and being in a city. I'd never done gardening or anything like that in my life. And as far as being aware of how to function, you know, without these cushy little things that we're so comfortable around, which are not there anymore. You sit there and you go, okay, well, you know, life goes on. There are ways to get around it, and that's where awareness and education comes in. And a lot of people are scared. I think a lot of people are frightened. They don't know what step to do next. A lot of people are out of jobs.
Yeah, but what you're saying, what you're saying is more or less that you need an external pressure for the people to adjust.
Yeah, and you also need to raise awareness in areas where people had no idea. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Somebody's feedbacking a little bit.
Is it me?
I think it's when you get in. It's when you get impassioned. It starts going whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe it's your superpowers. I don't know.
That's my superpowers, baby. Yeah, well, I was getting impassioned about that. You're right.
You know, if I was a superhero, I'd be Batman.
Anyway, yeah, I think raising awareness in areas where people just, you know, like I said, a lot of society, a lot of these people in the inner city have no clue how to survive. You know, they really don't. They're used to going down to the local corner, you know, because it's convenient, and getting their needs met, you know, and then going home and feeding their family, going to work, you know, and on the weekends maybe go to the park or go to the beach or something, you know, and that's about it. They're not aware of what it takes to actually, you know, become
but because that's the easy way. That's the easy way to live, you know. And
exactly.
The point is, how can you beat this system, this lethargic attitude, as long as you don't have external pressures?
Hey, is somebody? Whoa, is somebody not wearing a headset or something?
I'm not wearing a headset.
Oh, that's what it is. Are you in an echoey room?
I don't know. It doesn't echo to me. Hang on. Let me see if I can. Oh, shoot. I might be able to use this. I have a headphone. Hang on. I'll shut up for a minute. You guys talk. Let's see if I can get this.
I'll throw my 2 cents in really quickly here. I believe this is regarding when oil runs out and, you know, things kind of get a little dodgy for people. The problem is most people are like domesticated cats. They have no way of living out in the wild. No matter what you do, there's a few wild cats, and then there's thousands domesticated.
There's an echo again.
What's an echo? There's an echo.
No,
Okay. Oh, I was a little confused there. I heard a bunch of these.
Yeah, okay,
Let's
so
just start playing with their
so
computer.
people are conditioned and they can't break out from that.
Well,
That's their
I
only
did that.
limitation.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to save the domesticated cats. Yeah. They're all going to perish anyway.
Sounds very cool.
Well, they are. You're right.
So there's nothing that can be done. So I think instead of people focusing their energy and intention on trying to save everybody and save the world, they should focus on their own lives and what are they going to do when things get dodgy and how are they going to protect, you know, maybe their friends or their family. You know, I think that would be more reasonable. It's kind of a losing battle to try and save a domesticated cat.
So, but this sounds like perfect Darwinism.
Well, it is. That's how everything expresses itself is through I guess natural selection and biological means. That's sort of how it goes. And I think that's probably what will happen anyway when things run out. And I personally have a conjecture that there are groups who understand that this is what's going to happen, and they see it as means of improving the gene pool and finding people well suited for certain tasks and duties.
Well, I
And I don't
also
think there's a way to stop it. I don't think it's possible to stop that. I mean, it's been set in stone many, many years ago.
Yeah, actually, I am also of the same opinion. And let's go back to the oil. Actually, what I found out on that when I was researching the oil was that, you know, we had in 2008, 2007, 2006, we had a constantly rising oil price, you know, which went actually haywire more or less, you know, up to over $140 per barrel. And at that time, actually, the U.S. was sending an envoy down to the OPEC members, and they called the people from OPEC and they desperately begged them to increase the production because the high price is going to spoil the economy. And OPEC was not able to meet that demand. They actually asked them more or less to double the production. And the people on ground the technicians on ground told them, look, we can't do it. And they barely managed to promise an increase of, I think it was 5% or something like this, and they couldn't make that one even at that time. You know? And this information actually got leaked out through WikiLeaks cable, and I posted that one also in the oil thread. So this is not a conjecture. I think the source is genuine, and what happened actually was that in 2003, a few years before that one, the U.S. government gave a study ordered a study to examine the price of oil, crude oil, on the world economy and especially the U.S. economy. And they found out that at a certain level of price, the economies are going to crash because of the price, because it's like too much friction in the system, because every movement will cost money, energy, and if that load is too much, the economy will just crash. And they predicted that it's going to happen. That was in 2003, and 5 years exactly that happened actually. In 2008 it was very obvious that the study was right, and the oil went over 140 per barrel, and after that one the economy crashed, and the oil price went back to 40, 50, you know, and then from that time on it is steadily climbing. It's now over 100, and it's going to climb again until, because we are right now trying to boost the economy, you know, because everybody is, not everybody, but there's a lot of debt going on, and the scheme can only continue as long as you have growth. And growth you can have only if you consume more, and if you consume more, you need more oil, and as the oil production is limited, the price will increase until the next crash, which is coming very soon, obviously. So it comes with mathematical certainty that the next crash will come, and the next crash is going to be a big one, obviously.
Because there's so many people and ideas and gadgets and what have you involved now, more than ever before. So that naturally leads to a larger event.
Yeah.
And it's the dependency on those gadgets that I think they're going to throw people off balance a little bit.
Yeah, and there's one thing I want to share, what I have discovered in my research, is that actually there is some more oil obviously in the ground. I mean, it's not that we have already, how to say, the peak of discovery has already been met. You know, the peak of production we are right now in the plateau. We are going to cut back on what is going to be pumped in oil, but there are more areas which are likely to be of interest, but they are not explored. Of course, the main reason is environmental issue. But you see, even if you cut down the environmental issue to zero and you say, look, we will explore all these remaining areas and we will cut, and let's imagine you find 1,000 oil wells, and you can pump billions of barrels out, and you can just double all the production. For how long will it last? It will last maybe 10, 20 years more, and then you're in the same situation. And 20 years is nothing in the it's a blink of an eye in a civilization, and we have learned already from before what's going to happen. So this will be just a repetition.
Well, misery can be prolonged, and I think that's what it would be. But really, I think people need to focus on individual things. What would they do in this scenario or that situation, and what have you? Yeah, I think it all starts inside. It doesn't start on the outside.
Well, you're talking
It'll be the same. What's that?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was just going to say you're talking about basic survival instincts.
Well, that too. And I mean, if you look at people 200 years ago versus people today, how many people know how to start a fire? How many people even know how to put a radish seed in the ground and watch it grow?
Exactly. How many even know what a radish seed is?
Yeah, I mean, how many people even know how you get a radish? I mean, people don't have any clue about that. And again, it's a domesticated cat thing. They're going to be all wandering the streets and begging and doing what they do. And there's really no way that they can be convinced or saved. And that I find that fruitless. Not to be cold-hearted, but
well, I don't know that I actually feel that same way. I don't know that it's I'm sure there's going to be there's a certain amount of people that are just going to spaz out, but there are going to be people that are going to have to buckle down, and they're going to realize to survive they're going to have to figure out how to. I mean, that's a basic. It's a basic human instinct to survive, And when all is said and done, you can sit there and go, "Woe is me! I don't have this and this and this, and I'm so used to having that to survive. Now I don't know what to do." They're going to figure out a way, So I don't think that entirely the whole population of the planet is going to perish due to this. I think there's a certain amount that are just because of proximity, say inner city people. I think a lot of inner city people are going to be trying to get out of the city because it's going to be a jungle. Let's just say, in fact, maybe I could just pose this to anybody on the chat and you guys. If there were a total collapse of society, what do you think the natural instinct of a human being would be to do? Basic necessities. My answer would be basic necessities. It would be food, water, your health, and shelter. Anybody else want to throw anything into that?
That seems reasonable, but I think people are going to go about it in all the wrong way. I'm not saying anything will happen that's that drastic. I just think things will be a bit tumultuous when oil does run out, and the domestic cats, as I call them, will be wandering around in the streets, doing what they do best, scratching at posts and looking bewildered.
Yeah, I agree. There's going to
be other people who are more well-adjusted, I think, will probably have better means. People, of course, who are financially well-set, well, they won't have to worry about anything, will they?
Yeah.
So I think it's all on different levels. It's a struggle like anything else. It's just, the one that's likely to happen in the coming future,
Yeah.
The next few decades.
What do you think, Bashi? Bashi, you there? Did we lose Bashi?
Where'd he go?
I don't know. Yeah, we lost him. Huh. But he's there. He's just being quiet.
Or he stepped out to have a cigarette. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think if there were a total collapse of society? What's your opinion? Come on, guys. Throw something in there.
Or at least a partial collapse,
Yeah.
Just some kind of a destabilization of the status quo.
Yeah. I think they're having a conversation in there and they're not listening to us.
That's all right. We'll leave them to it.
I'm here. I'm talking to our chatters, man.
Yeah, I know. I can see that.
So, but what you say that people who are financially better set, they will buffer it little bit better than other people. That is already a kind
Yeah.
of selection, how to say, component in the Darwinistic scheme.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
One Gypsy says to start, it's going to take time for that total collapse. Yeah, it's going to take time, but you know, there's going to also be. I think there's going to be a folding too. There's going to be a peak point where it's going to come to a crescendo, and it's going to be very self-evident. And at that point, what do you feel that? What do you feel the basic human instincts
Yeah.
will provide?
Actually, I don't agree that it will be a slow decline. I think there will be a kind of, how to say, chain reaction going on, you know? And it will be coming very fast. I mean, look what we have in Germany, for example. We have experience in these things. We had inflation. My grandma was telling me how she knew how people were going with wheelbarrows full of money to buy food, you know. And I know they told me one case where somebody sold a complete house because of 3 loaves of bread and some other stuff, you know. A complete house for 3 loaves of bread. So, and we had the Second World War, you know, when they were bombing the cities, and you know, it was like this after the war, or during the war and after the war, that people from the city, they couldn't survive. They have to go into the countryside, you know. But if you still had law and order, you know. So people were going out, they were going to the farmers, and they were selling their rags and their whatever they had, their gramophones and stuff like that. And for food, you know, farmers got very rich. They had gold and whatsoever. But that is in a society where there is still law and order, in a society where you still have all these essential services working. And I doubt whether you have zones inside the cities, for example, where this can be maintained. Even now, you have areas in France, for example, you have areas where the police, the firefighters, and the doctors are not going. I think in 110 areas right now in France you have where these people are not going anymore, these services, because it's ghetto. And I think in the US you have even more. So, and that is in a situation where you still have all the facilities. Everything is working fine. So look at the situation. Look at the situation when in America for one day there was no electricity. I think it was in Los Angeles or somewhere. And
well, those people are hopeless, man.
yeah, but it spread. It
It's
will
been
spread.
Yeah, but they're like here, dude. I lived without power for like a week. Fine.
Yeah, when I was in the Northridge earthquake, we were without power and water for over a week. It was pretty intense. There were camps. There were tent camps. People were afraid to stay in their houses. It was actually a very good example. But I have to tell you, just using that as an example, here I am in the city, and I was where the Northridge earthquake happened, where you probably saw the picture of the fire shooting out. I was about 6 blocks from that. So I was right in the heart of it. And I've never seen people band together and pull together the way they did in that city. And it was pretty amazing. I mean, you would have thought total chaos would have ensued. But actually, people were there for each other. And it was a pretty amazing thing to watch. Because again, no water, no power. Stores were getting sold out. The electricity was down. So people with credit cards, I mean, you either had cash or you couldn't get anything, you see. And it was pretty intense, but that's actually a very good example to bring up. They actually banded together, helped each other, set up areas where people could pull themselves together. They shared tents. I mean, it was pretty amazing. So, you know, when you sit there and you think to yourself, well, it's going to be total chaos in the inner cities. Well, you know, think again. I mean, these people eventually do band together in times of crisis.
Yeah, but
So
that are you living in a city or not?
Yeah, that was in Los Angeles.
Okay, but that was with the mindset that it is only temporary. I mean, you know that it's a natural calamity and work.
No, my friend, that was not on a mindset that it was temporarily. We were scared shitless. I'm sorry, but there were constantly earthquakes going on, big tremors, not little ones, but big ones. Things just kept shaking for weeks. We didn't know whether another one was coming. We didn't know how long it was going to last. We didn't know whether we were going to end up in the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, it was intense, and I'm going to tell you, people did band together. It was pretty amazing.
Alright, so in 5 minutes we'll be taking callers because that'll be our first hour over.
Cool. Cool. Let's see. I saw. Oh, I don't know what happened to it.
But the point is, you didn't have shortages of food. I mean, you didn't have famine or something like this, because
You didn't have it yet. No, it wasn't there yet, but it could have
Yeah.
easily gone that way. I mean, people were preparing for it, and a lot of people were not prepared. As long as people have been living in California, you would think they would be all set up for earthquakes and have their packs ready and all their stuff to go. But there were a lot of people that had nothing ready. I mean, nothing. No water supplies, no nothing. You had to wait for trucks to come around with water. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing to watch.
Cool. Yeah, well, it's always good to see people pull together.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to bring to the forefront as far as when we talk about, well, things are going to get bad, and yeah, that that survival instinct does set in, and people do tend to band together when they realize, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, and these conveniences are gone. Now what do? They tend to just get that survival instinct kicks in. I think it's something natural that even the biggest city dwellers who are used to the 7-Eleven and the Starbucks are now sitting here going, okay, what do? And it just automatically kicks in.
Whoa, you got some killer feedback going on there.
Sorry.
The force is strong with this one.
I'll fix it next time. I tried like that big echo you had was from me trying to plug in my headphone, and I have to set up next time. I'll set it up with just the headphone, and I'm afraid that if I try it now, it'll just make it worse. It did.
Here's what you do: just mute your Skype. See your Skype.
Yeah.
The call we're in now, just mute your microphone and play with it. That way, no matter what you do, it won't bother us. And then when you're ready to test it out, click the button again. It's the one right by the plus sign.
Okay, I'm going to mute it now.
Alrighty. So in about 2 minutes, we'll be taking callers. Silent Ghost, .80, all lowercase. Add me. What's up?
Silent Ghost?
What's up, Bashi?
It's calling. Yeah, no, I just sent you a message, on the Skype, just have a look at it. So no problem.
Yeah, I see it.
So, actually, I'm a little bit more pessimistic than Brooke, because I have gone through at least 2 social riots where people were killed in my life. I can say 3 actually, where in the end the army came out and were just, shooting people. Whoever was on the street, got the bullet. It was very easy rule, So, and I saw how people can get, they turn into something else, So you will have an environment which is very, very unsure, unstable, and you will have uncertainty from your own unprepared neighbor, which, will turn from a neighbor into a potential, not helper, but a competitor for food or for resources at that moment. I see that one coming.
Yeah.
I think depending on the area, it will differ. Some communities who are very close and are very reliant on each other and very independent in that sense, independent from external areas and whatnot. I think they would probably fare better than people who don't speak with each other, people who don't really acknowledge each other's existence and whatnot.
Yeah, I made actually, a few years ago I was in the Alps. I was working there half a year and during the summer as as a cow herd, as a cowboy, milking the cows on the arms and so on. It was a very good experience actually to see how the community of the people there, they stuck together. They know that
Yeah.
even if they disagree on certain things and they don't like it themselves, they know that when it comes heart to heart, they can rely on each other, and that they can only survive if they stick together.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't have that one in population centers. And in that Alp, for
It's hard
example,
to find, yeah.
in that Alp, for example, in that valley, they were running on water on hydroelectricity. So they
Yeah.
had just as a backup from the main grid in case anything goes wrong with their own power supply. So they produce food. They have the mountains as a protection. It's a very close society. They are inbreeding more or less. But these are the structures which will survive, but not somebody who is going to Woolworth in a 2 million head city. That is not
Yeah.
sustainable.
Yeah. Urban survival is more difficult than rural survival, especially when communities are involved.
Mm.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
hey, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Well, it's anyone's game. No one knows the future. We can just kind of guess at it, but I think people ought to take care of themselves and get a good feel for their talents and their abilities and be aware of things. I think that's all anyone can do, really.
Mm.
You
But you
can't
see
steer a
now,
boat without a steering wheel.
yeah, but in principle, let's go back to our original discussion about oil. I mentioned already that there are some places where oil is obviously still there. It has not been explored. It's not been tapped in any way. So there are structures, powerful structures, working on keeping these resources away from consumption. Because it will just prolong the suffering, and not the suffering, the frenzy. So, question is now, how guilty are these people? That is my question, because I try to take a look at the other side also.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're taking callers now. Like I am me on Skype. Silent.ghost80. Add me. I'll call you in. Go ahead though.
All right. Do we have any callers lined up or anything?
No, yeah.
Not yet. Darn.
There's
Well,
like
that's a
11
drag.
people, and we know most of them, and not one of them's like,
Darn.
hey, yeah, I'll come in.
So much fun. All right. Well, how do we top that? Somebody said I'm a bummer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Somebody says I'm a
What?
bummer.
Oh, this one will be
Oh,
How am I
will
a
be banned
bummer?
for coming in.
Well, I think it's because you do that there's going to be this is my
all right. Listen, we're changing the subject
Dale is
now.
a
It's going to
bummer.
be Dale's
yeah,
Tofek.
not a bummer.
Okay, everybody just
Okay,
Dale's
Rose can
Tofek.
come
everybody
in,
just
maybe.
make fun of me. I would enjoy that.
Dale, you're like a damn evil, goddamn evil cloud. You just float on by.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think
Nothing happens. You just float on by.
Yeah, that's it. And some rain coming down.
Yeah, and when you're not looking, it'll strike your ass with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
actually, for a test show with no prior planning, just to see if it works, I think we're doing a pretty good job of keeping putting a show together. What do
You
you
know,
guys
I
think?
haven't talked. Yeah, I haven't talked about my sandwich yet.
Yeah,
Your
wait,
Last
wait,
sandwich?
wait,
time,
wait. Before you start that one, let me
yeah,
put my thing again up. What I wanted to say is, now there, again about seriously on the oil.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
you have people which are obviously, how to say, denying some resources of oil to be tapped, and in this way creating a crisis in one way or the other, in several ways, obviously. Uh, to bring this shortage or this bottlenecking into fruition, So my question was, if you look at it, that obviously humans can only respond if they are put under pressure into a situation where they have to respond to survive. How bad is it to bring up a crisis? How guilty are these people then?
yeah.
don't munch the sandwich, please.
Oh, his sandwich is great. No wonder they looked at him when he went back in.
Oh, they're all
yeah,
guilty. The sandwiches.
yeah. Because I went back there again, and they all recognized me. I was
I had
dressed,
half a mind, but
similarly.
I'd have
Wait,
a
wait,
mind to
wait, wait,
call
wait,
you
wait,
up
wait,
and
wait.
do it just then.
I want a serious discussion, This is a real question. Everybody went silent. I want an answer from everybody on the show. First from Brooke. How guilty are these people then?
Say that again. How what?
How guilty are these people who are bringing a crisis for humankind, for mankind?
How guilty are they?
Yeah.
Not any. I think they're as guilty as we are for allowing things to evolve the way they have. I think. I suppose that you could say the haves are more guilty than the have-nots. But I think at some point we all have choices, and it's the choices that you make that you have to live with. If that makes any sense. So guilty, yeah. There is a guilty part. There are guilty parties out there, yeah, for sure. But we do have choices. We always have a choice, and a lot of it boils down to responsibility. So that's my take.
It's a little bit evasive. It's a little bit evasive. Now, are you saying that their actions are justified because of mankind itself is not able to correct?
No. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, well, maybe in a small sense, yeah. But overall, man, that's a tough one. You have to hit me up with that one.
Of course,
yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. We as society, we're responsible for our own actions, and if we're being dominated or led by and allowing ourselves to be led, that's another part. I mean, who sets up the rules, right? Who sets up the rules? And
Star, nail it hard.
Yeah. So these are the questions that I ask. I ask a lot of these questions myself, and I don't have the answers to. But I don't know what more I can say to that. It's just being. I mean, at some point we have to take responsibility for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it more or less the action of this elite group, which is bringing the chaos into, is more or less a reaction to our action, to our inaction.
Yeah, I think in part, yeah.
So they are more or less a materialization of the, how to say, common consciousness. Is it not? That?
Yeah.